Hello, my name is Keith Thomson. In Australia, nicknames are very common. Often they're used to shorten the name. For instance, my name, Thomson, is often shortened to Tomo. McDonald's becomes Macca's. Nicknames are also found in the Bible. Jesus used nicknames to describe some of his disciples, showing their attributes. Therefore, Cephas, or Simon, was called Peter, and James and John were called Boanerges, the sons of thunder. The one that we're going to be looking at today, the hero of the faith for today, his name was Joseph, but we know him as Barnabas. We first read of him in Acts, the 4th chapter. Notice what we read in Acts 4, starting in verse 33. And with great power the apostles were giving testimony to the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and abundant grace was upon them all. For there was not a needy person among them, for all who were owners of land or houses would sell them and bring the proceeds of the sales, and lay them at the apostles' feet, and they would distribute them to each as they had any need. Now Joseph, a Levite of Cyprian birth, who was also called Barnabas by the apostles, which translated means son of encouragement, and he who owned a tract of land sold it and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. Barnabas, the son of encouragement. And no man had a greater nickname than Barnabas, because that's what we see throughout his life. He truly was an encourager, and he encouraged everyone wherever he went. The next time we read of him is in Acts chapter 9, where we read of after the conversion of Saul of Tarsus, who became the Apostle Paul. Well, when he tried to go to Jerusalem after his conversion and meet with the Christians, they were not willing to do so, because he had previously been a violent persecutor of the church. It was Barnabas who brought him in to the fold. Notice Acts chapter 9, starting in verse 26. When Saul, came to Jerusalem, he was trying to associate with the disciples, but they were all afraid of him, not believing that he was a disciple. But Barnabas took hold of him and brought him to the apostles, and described to them how he had seen the Lord on the road, and how he had talked to him, and how at Damascus he had spoken out boldly in the name of Jesus Christ. And he was with them, moving about freely in Jerusalem, speaking boldly in the name of the Lord. You see, because of this son of encouragement, Barnabas, Saul, or as we know him now as the Apostle Paul, was able to go about his work. Well, later, when the church in Jerusalem heard about the fledgling church in Antioch, it was Barnabas that they sent to this new area, to Antioch. And while he was there, he went and called for Paul, and together they worked in that great city until finally they were sent on what is now known as the first missionary journey. Now, they took a young man to help them. This man was named John Mark, but the work of an evangelist is difficult, and John Mark abandoned them in the middle of the journey. Well, when Paul and Barnabas were seeking to go on the second journey, Barnabas wanted to give John Mark another go, another try. He was always encouraging people. Now, Paul wasn't willing to do that, and that they went two different ways. Barnabas taking John Mark. Barnabas, the son of encouragement, was right. This John Mark became Mark the Apostle, the writer of the Gospel of Mark, whom later in life the Apostle Paul said, "Bring Mark, for he is very useful to me." This attribute that is shown in Barnabas, this encouragement, is something that we all are asked to bring to all those around us to encourage and build one another up. In the world, it seems that people want to drag people down, but not so in the church. To be a child of faith is to be an encourager, a builder up of his fellow men. Notice what we read in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, encourage one another and build up one another, just as you are also doing. This is exactly what Barnabas did. He truly is a hero of the faith. Thank you, and goodbye for now.